Hello, I think I'm here. Hello, everybody. Hi. So, first thing I'm going to show you, it is so good to be here. And I got to tell you why I'm running so late. I do apologize. It was one of those things where life gets in the way. I got so much news to tell you. But first things first, look what I got in the mail yesterday. And I dearly love them. I dearly love these. Thank you, Miss Bonnie. She divided these up between some of us. And I've always wanted to make like a little shadow box things full of found treasures. And these are going to be perfect. Okay. And while I'm showing pretty things that I got, hold on just a second. So I got some beautiful stuff to use on my hair, which I need. I've never been very girlish, you know? And so it's always nice when I get help with that. And then I want to show you this. This was sent to me by Diana. And this was a practice piece, a warm-up piece. And she took and bound it and made it into like an eyeglass case. Isn't it beautiful? And she put the Deb. That is so cute. And I was telling her I'm always losing my scissors. So if she doesn't mind, I think I'm going to hang it right over my ironing board because I'm always covering up whatever I'm working on. And then can't find my scissors. And you know what? When you need scissors, you need scissors. So hello, Michelle Lang is here too. Hello, guys. So I'll tell you all about it. Okay. So Friday night, Mark is cooking dinner, which means reheating. And we had leftover, hold on. I'm having a hot flash because I came running down here so fast to get on here and say, hi, everybody. Okay. Yes, an eyeglass case would be beautiful, too. I keep these suckers around my neck. Oh, and I'll show you my pretty, haven't worn this necklace much. And this is one of the necklaces I got from China. And it's just so lovely. And it was about $4. And I like having dress up things to wear when I come on here with you guys. And it is totally safe to get packages from China. The virus, even if it got in the package, can't live through all that travel. So it's okay to get your packages. In fact, well, that's part of I'll get back to my, hi, Akko. Oh, thank you. I love these colorful things. When they had them on Romans, I just ordered, a bunch of them. And, of course, on sale. But anyway, all right. So Friday night, Mark is reheating some meatloaf and some Stouffer's mac and cheese. And he made us some asparagus, last of the fresh asparagus. It was wonderful. But he came in and said, I have something to tell you. The microwave stopped working. And we noticed it had started acting up, and we had no idea what was going on. And he said, it just stopped working. So anyway, I said, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So we went and looked online, and we looked at several different places, finally found one on Lowe's, and we wanted a slightly bigger one this time. And so we found that they're doing curbside pickup, which is what us old fogies need to do. And so we paid for it online. We printed out the little thing. So we were going to go pick it up yesterday morning. I had a bunch of stuff to do to prepare for this show. But I said, Mark, what do you think? How about if we just I haven't seen my grandkids since Christmas. I don't know. It'd been too long and I was missing them terribly. And so I said, what if we just drive by Becky's house and we'll stay in the car and leave the windows closed and just say hi? He said, I've got a better idea. Let's take some folding lawn chairs and we'll see if we can sit out in their backyard. And if they stay far enough away, we don't go in their house, we don't hug them, we don't touch anything that they've touched, and we'll just sit and visit. Well, we did. We did. And it was just what I needed. But the good news is I took pictures and a couple little film clips on my regular camera, and it was so much fun. And then the other good news is Mark and we were talking about it, and he said, why don't we drive through downtown and show them the new Winston-Salem, and then we'll drive through the old Salem and show them, you know, because there was a little town named Winston and a little town named Salem, and they merged them in the early 1900s. So he said, why don't we drive through and do it? He got his drone in, and he loves it. And the camera is amazing. So he said, don't promise them when I'll have it ready, but when I get a chance, I'll make them a video of our little pond in the house and stuff. So I'm really excited. So I'm going to have some good things to show y'all this week. But today I've got plenty of pictures, and I've got some little films of being over my daughters, and just something to, maybe it'll help you feel like you've gotten somewhere, gotten out, look at something new. But anyway, when I came home from that, I said, I'm so tired. I had to get something to eat. I said, you know, I could take a nap. And he said, why don't you? And I thought, well, I've got all this stuff to do to get ready for tomorrow's show. And it didn't take long. I was in the hammock. And I said, you know what? I got to take a day off. I am either on the camera or preparing a show every day. I got to take some time off. So I got in the hammock about 3:30 or 4 and didn't get out until 8 o'clock. Took a really great nap. I read a couple pages before I fell asleep, but oh my God, I needed that. I needed that so much. And I thanked him for suggesting that we actually distancing, but going to see my daughter and my grandkids and my son-in-law. It was so cute. Mark said when we were backing into their driveway, he said, what if we kind of self-hugged, like we were hugging them, but self-hugged? I said, oh my God, that's so funny. I'll do it with you. So we got out of the car and we were like, Becky, Charlotte, oh, it's so good to see you. And when we got ready to leave, we all did it again to ourselves. So, that was needed. That was needed. So now you're probably wondering, okay, what does that have to do with you being late this morning? Well, I didn't have things prepared last night. And Friday, I spent all day sewing something back there that I'll show you in a minute. And I started working on my flamingos, trying to get that thing fully finished. So I'm trying to feel like I'm spinning my wheels and I'm not getting very far. So I'm trying to work on that. And, but this morning I woke up, and I woke up kind of late because I fell asleep on the couch and didn't come back to bed till 3. So I'm waking up and trying to get moving. I came out to tell Mark something, but I really was supposed to be getting in the shower and washing my hair so I could make a fresh start and get some stuff done. And the phone rings, and it's my son. And I said, hi. He said, do you want to do a Google Hangout? He said, because Russell's package got here, and I thought you might want to see him open his presents. Well, I couldn't resist that. So then we did the hangout, and I got to see Russell, and he was opening his presents, and they loved the animals. They loved the squeakers in a couple of them. They loved the book that I don't know if I showed you, but I made him a Daddy's the Hero kind of guy book, and then sent him a shape sorter. And it was so good getting to see him. And I was all chatty Cassie talking all over the place to him. And so then after that, I was sitting, I didn't go get my shower, and I was sitting on the couch and realized, oh my gosh, I had all kinds of y'all's picture albums. I had to get them all organized and go through the site and look for more pictures. Anyway, I jumped in the shower at 2:30, washed my hair, blow dried it, came running down here with curlers in my hair. And Mark's like, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? So I'm here, but the place is a mess and I don't care because we're friends. So I don't have to have it perfect for y'all. But look, see this pile of stuff here? Oh, what a mess. And over there is a mess. So anyway, but this is the important thing. We're friends, so it's okay if my place is a little messy today. You won't blame me, will you? Oh, and yesterday when I went over, I washed my hands with soap and water really good. And then I put a little orange, one of those tangerine things, in a baggie for each grandkid, a handful of Kissies in each bag for the grandkids, and then some flowers for my daughter. And I put them all like on the table, neutral place, in the sun. And then I took them over some white fabric and some big hunks of the tissue paper and explained to them how that they could color fabric. So hopefully they'll do that. And if they send me any pictures of it, I'll show you. So messes are good. It means I was doing stuff, right? To me, a clean house is a lack of imagination. At least that's what I tell myself, and I'm sticking to it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about with you today, because I showed you my beautiful buttons. Thank you, Bonnie. And I showed you my beautiful new scissor holder. Thank you, Diana. What I wanted to show you is, I think I told some of y'all the other day that I have a glue gun, an oil pencil that I use for my long arm machine. It has two places, a top right at the top over where you thread the machine, and then you have to do the hook down where you put the bobbin. So I had fallen in love. Deb, hi to Becky. Is it my Becky? Yay! We'll go to pictures so I can show you them. But, thank you, Susan. See, what would I do without Susan? Gosh. But anyway, I had cracked. I pushed the sewing, the oiler right on the plastic, and it cracked. And being so cheap, I used it for 3 weeks that way and tried to set it down so more oil wouldn't run out. I went on a company. I'll show you the company. I'm so tickled Becky's here. This is the name of the company, Cleaners Supply. Cleaners Supply. Yes, they had the best price. These little oil pens were $3.15, and that is with oil in them. And then they had a 4-ounce Zoom bottle, a refill for the oiler, and this was maybe $4. And the shipping was $4.99. And believe it or not, this got to me 2 days after I ordered it, 2.5 days after I ordered it. And that's in the slowdown of time. But they promised, they said super fast service, and here it was. So for $14, that includes the shipping, I have 2 brand new oiling pens and a refill. I love sharing good news with y'all. Okay, so how is everybody? And I'm tickled that Becky is here. Well, let me show you the things that I did. If y'all don't mind while she's here, let me show you a couple things. And the new microwave works really good. Tickled with that. Okay, now let me see if I can do this. We'll do our photos early today. Okay. Oops. All done, guys. There we go. All right. Trying to keep this out of... All right. Now, Let me go. And I've got some cool new photos to show you. Okay, well, go with me first. And I don't know how long Becky will be there, but this is a picture my son sent me of little Russell. Is he just too cute for words or what? I just loved that. How do I get this? Something's on my screen. I'm having a hard time seeing it. Hold on. Okay. Now, let's see. Here is the pack of stuff I sent to about 12 of y'all. I know not everybody has gotten their package, but I sent you a sample of yarns and a sample of photos and, picture fabrics that you could use on your undersea. This is a great story. My daughter didn't think she had bred any of her sheep last fall. So she pretty much was resigned to not having any babies this spring. She went out about a week ago and look what she found. Is this amazing? That sheep is a blue-faced Leicester. And look at that baby. I love the eyeliner. Isn't that so cute? And they're called blue-faced because their skin is a bluish gray. And that's why he looks like he has eyeliner on. That's his skin showing underneath the little cute woolly fur. Oh, this is a picture of me when I met Alex Anderson in person back in 2009. I told y'all I had met her before. All right, here we are at my daughter's backyard. She's got these brand new Tibetan prayer flags out by her garden. And she's got all of her early crops planted, spinach and sweet peas and stuff like that. So I'm excited. And we're all looking at her husband, John. He plays baseball, incredibly intricate baseball with himself. He's got a great imagination. And so we were watching where he had hit it. And there he is in his Miller team shirt. And here are the flowers I took Becky. And I brought some crochet and she's yarning. And Charlotte even brought out some really cool yarn with some little beading that she's doing. And there's Becky's hammock out in her backyard. Doesn't that just look dreamy? I just love it. And Becky has students. And what she does is she lets them come out and paint her big shed. And that way it gives her some art to look at, and it gives them a more appropriate place to do their artwork. And so she had some of her favorite students, and this part was done a while back. And these are all her chicken hutches and houses. It used to be for rabbits, but I'm sorry, rabbits are a lot of work. So here is Evan. He is getting ready to play. I asked if he could play his saxophone because I just love that these kids take band. These were some beautiful little blue flowers in her yard, and they were just charming. And I thought, it's funny during a time like this, we enjoy little things. And here I am feeding this chicken who loves to jump for her snacks. She is hilarious. She's so food motivated. Look at that. Mark actually got her mid-jump. And then Becky's holding his music so he can play. Charlotte in her beautiful purple hair is standing back over here. And she's got a bunch of peonies with big buds on them. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's see. And there's Becky and her chickens. She has a mess of chickens. And I love her backyard. It's like I told her it felt like a park. So that's another picture of that. And then there's another student that had his own side to come do. And he's excellent artist. And none of these are gang symbols. She said you can paint whatever, but you can't do gang symbols. So, but I just think it's so cute. Then she has some, what are they called? Old English little bantam chicken game hens, Old English game hens, I think. I think that's what they're called. And this rooster is so funny. He's so little. You'll get to hear him crow in a little bit. And these are some flowers, and they're blue. And I'm trying to remember if they're called blue star or blue-eyed grass. But I've got to look that up just to make sure. And there's another last view of her hammock. Then I wanted to show you this. This is off of a Jenny Beyer quilt that won an award. And I want you to see, it's a little fuzzy, but I took this years ago. See this seam right here? And see this block down here? Do you see how the seam is off this much? And I believe this was her Ray of Light quilt. And I wanted to show you that. And she's never corrected it. It was from early on in her career. And when I saw that, it really let me know that quilting is valid, whether all those seams match up perfectly or not. And this was an award winner, and it didn't match up perfectly. So I thought, I found this today when I was cleaning out the folders and everything. Somehow I hit upon that. And then this is the center of Ray of Light, and you can kind of see where it's all bunched up. And I thought, that really helped me. And as famous as she is, she hasn't gone back and tried to take that out. That was part of her quilt journey. And I love it. I love it. And it made me know that we can do this. You know, this is pretty cool. And you don't have to be perfect. So I really like that. And I wanted to show you that. Okay, here are some of the little films I took yesterday there. And there's that little blue-eyed grass or blue star. I'm not sure exactly. And that's her hammock. Okay. Whoops, come on. Where's the little arrow? It's over here somewhere. Well, let me go this way. Okay. Is that the cutest? I just love that little hen. She's lucky I didn't sneak her home. That little hen hung out with us the whole time. It was so cute. Hung out with us the whole time. That is so cute. Okay.
Chick! Hey, chick, 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 chick! I see you still got a golden Polish. Yeah, I've had it. The one that lost all my tail feathers. Aw. Except for one. Hi! Hi, chick, 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 chick! Oh, look at him, Philip. You're beautiful, Philip! Philip! Hey, little Joe.
I love his barred feathers. That's what makes him so unique.
Oh, he is gorgeous. Aw. Yeah, let me go. Was that the little one? Oh.
It just looks like such a happy house, doesn't it?
And it's George that did this. Beautiful. Wow, that is oh, that is so neat. Now, do they use paint and brushes or spray cans? Wow. Oh, that is so neat. And then I want to do a picture of your woods because it's so pretty. It's like an enchanted forest. Aww. He was, oh my God, that's so cute. Are they greenish? A bigger, and it's white. Oh, okay. It's actually one of their bigger ones. Oh. is so cute. Now, do you go ahead and eat those? Or okay. It just takes a couple more of them. Wow. that,
Mm.
They're beautiful.
I think I've gone all the way around now. Let me see, guys. Yep, I think I had gone all the way around. Okay, and while we're here looking at photos, let's go ahead and look at your amazing photos. Okay. Akko has been a very busy woman. She has gotten back to her Stellaris. And remember, Akko sews all by hand. And I love this thread holder. That is beautiful. Looks like that has some age on it. That's a treasure. And then guess what? Akko found or got a tatting bobbin and is learning to tat. So now it makes me want to try that, but I don't know. Akko is very talented and I'm not. So anyway, but I love that. Oh, and I got something here. Let me make sure I've got it turned up. Akko and some friends got together. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not sure, and I can't see the site, but she plays a tuba that is a very small tuba, and I don't know if that's the instrument she was playing or what, but I think they all sent in an audio of them playing that song, and then they had a mixer, a person put all of them together, and I think that is so awesome. So I wanted to show y'all something real quick too while I'm here with Cheryl. This is the starting of her undersea landscape, and I want to show you she finished it, and I am so proud of her. I just love it. And then she put her land and her lighthouse, and it's just lovely. So way to go, Cheryl. We all give you a pat on the back, darling. That's wonderful. Okay, now let's see. Diana Wright, we all love. Okay, I'm going to go a little, well, let me see. This is her Edita Sitar had a free block of the day quilt thing for this COVID crisis. And I want to show you that somehow with everything she's got going on, she managed to get all the blocks done. And it was multiple blocks for each day. And Diana Wright, we all have said, she doesn't sleep. We just know it. She doesn't sleep. But isn't that beautiful? So way to go, hon. That is beautiful. So I really love it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let's go back to Diana Wright is also excitingly getting ready to put in a swimming pool. And remember, she lives in Texas. You need a pool in Texas. This, let me show you this bigger. This was her nervous day because husband Marty was up in the top of this lift cutting trees down. So I think I would have had a nervous day myself. Oh my goodness. But thank goodness all the trees are down and he's safe. We know these men are talented, but sometimes it still worries us. And he's using a front end loader to move a large log. They'll have firewood for a while, that's for sure. Whoops. Okay. And let me see. What is this one? Yep. He's got that lift thing up in the air there. Oh, goodness. Okay. Here's their nice garage. I love it. They've got, I forget, 20 some acres. I forget now. And there's some good old round bales of hay. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, of hay. And I love the shape of that tree. Isn't that beautiful? And this, I forgot what she named it, but it's a type of lily. And I love pineapple lily, maybe. And I love that. And here is that piece of machinery again with that lift on it. And she did some lettering with a cutter and some vinyl. So that's awesome. Okay. Then she was very busy and she saw this, I bet you, on the quilt show where they were saying if you make the headbands for the health workers, then the elastic doesn't hurt the back of their ears. Because all of a sudden, everybody is having to wear masks all day. And then there's Miss Diana's cat. And then look at this pretty vignette. She's got a butter churn and a bench and a quilt and a hat. That is just beautiful. And for all the men, they're going to love that grill. So isn't that pretty? I think that is so nice. And I think that was it. Yep, that was it for Miss Diana. Now let me see. Who do we have next? Oh, and Jody finished her quilt. And it's called Bacon of the Sea because she used bacon frying fabric for down here on the bottom. That is just too funny. And I love the way she quilted the currents and the water. Just lovely, hon. Way to go. Okay, let me see what else. Trying to think of who has something new in here. And just real briefly, since I had my daughter's chickens, I thought I would just show you Nadine's. These are good, sturdy German chickens. Isn't that rooster amazing? Beautiful, beautiful. In fact, I should have asked Nadine, what is the word for chicken in German? But isn't that charming? Even their little chicken feeders look like something from a storybook. Love that rooster. Oh, I was supposed to bring you down my rooster that I painted, but I forgot. I'll have to remember him next week. Oh, and don't let me forget, and I love this big bee on that beautiful fruit tree flower. Look, see him right there? He's something. Okay, little grape hyacinths. I just love this. And this was Nadine's bicycle ride through the countryside and just love it. Thank you, Nadine. And Patricia Fry, we've got, I'm not sure if this is finished yet, but this is her undersea. And I'm curious to see what she did with the shipwreck. I think that's really awesome. The way to go, Patricia. We're thinking of your daughter, hon. Cheryl, love this undersea of Cheryl's. Very creative lady. If you have any new ones, send them to me because I do love showing them. All right. I think that's it for today. So thank you for not minding me doing the photos out of order, but wanted to make sure I showed Becky the pictures that I took yesterday. So, okay. Let me check what y'all are talking about and make sure there were no problems. All right. let's see. It's so good to see all of you. So it was so nice. I can't tell you. Mark scored major points suggesting that I go over and see my Becky. He scored major points for that one because it did my heart such good. And to still be in compliance was also a good thing. So, because, the rules are there for a reason, and I definitely want to follow them. So, okay, what have we got? I don't know if Becky's still here or not. She might have had to go. But, oops. Okay, let me see. Okay, where are we? Yes, and that's what I was going to show you. Okay. You know what? I know why things look odd. I don't have the lights turned on. Let me turn my lights on, guys. Okay. Yes, I wanted to show you that that's what I was working on. She had to leave. Okay. That's what I was working on Friday. And I want to show you some things about that because I'm really tickled at what I did. All right. I put on a green border just out. I put on a green border just outside the center blocks. I put another rose in the mandala center. Is anybody leaving? Bye, Nadine, sweetie. Take good care. Okay. So then I put a mini border of the green, and then I did a nice wide 6.5-inch border of the white background floral. Tanya's here. Is she still here or did she have to go? There she is. This is wonderful. It is so good to see you. I was just thinking about Tanya the other day because I said, I haven't seen her in a while. I hope she's okay. So anyway, that's going to be the quilt. Now I need to put it on the frame and quilt it, and then I'm going to bind it. And I was sitting there looking at the fabrics left over, and I saw not a bunch of the stripes because it's not enough to make another mandala, but it was a little bit more left over than I thought. And I said, how can I use that stripe again? Because right now the stripe is only in that mandala. And if you remember, the mandala was cut so that it's on a 45-degree angle. So the stripes flare out and it gives it a real nice touch. So I sat there and said, I laid it by the quilt and said, what if I put this as one of the borders? It didn't look right. The quilt's already very busy. And I didn't want to put more busyness. And I like that the outer border is the white background floral because it brings the white from the blocks out to the border, okay? So I said, well, how can I use the stripe in the binding? Well, I could lay it out as a long stripe, or I could put it vertically as little short stripes. That's a lot of piecing. I said, it would be cool? The 45-degree angle that the stripes are in the center? Wouldn't it be cool if I could match that exact angle for the binding? I thought, oh my gosh, if I do that, I've got to cut a lot of small pieces and sew them together. I said, nah. I kept thinking about it, and I thought and thought until my thinker was tired. I took all of my stripes, and most of them were long strips. I sewed all my stripes together, so they're going the long way. Okay, the stripes are going this way. The piece got about 15, 16 inches wide and about 30 inches long. And I sewed them all together, and then I laid them on my cutting mat, and I laid them at a 45-degree angle. And then I cut them 2.5 inches because that's what I like my binding to be. I'm hoping I'm not confusing border and binding, but I like my binding to be 2.5 inches wide. So wait till you see. Here they are. And see, I joined them all on that because they were already diagonal from cutting because they were the leftover pieces from making the 45-degree wedges for the mandala. So this is what this is going to look like. It'll be sewed on to the quilt and then folded over. Is this the coolest thing? That's going to be the binding. And I want people to go, how did she do that? So, but just by taking all the stripes and sewing them in a vertical fashion, but sewing the long pieces together, and I pressed the seams open, and then I laid it on my mat at a 45-degree angle and started with the ruler, laying it down, cutting 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Then took all those 2.5-inch pieces and sewed them to each other. Since they were cut on a 45-degree angle, I sewed them. Whoops. Can you see it? I sewed them together with a 45-degree angle. And then I made, I don't know how many yards of this stuff. Yes. Oh, I remember zebra gum. So I got really excited because I want to tell you that this whole quilt was a piecemeal affair. The only thing I did according to Hoyle or by the directions was the mandala center. And the rest has been improvising because I found a pattern I liked, but my mandala center was bigger than the center of the pattern I liked. So I had to improvise to make all the blocks fit around it. And then I had to improvise with this binding. And I just love it. I think it's creative. And when I have it on there, I'll say, that's something special you did, Deb. You just thought outside the box and you made it work. So I'm so tickled anyway. Oh, take care, Bonnie. Mwah. So I just wanted to show you that because you can always find something to do. Well, then I hate wasting. So I had these little pieces to cut. I had these little pieces already cut with Steam and Seam 2 on the back of it. I thought, well, I don't have any place to put them on the front, but I hate to waste them. Well, guess what? When I make my backing for the quilt and when I make my label, this is going to be right beside my label. It's not wasted, and it decorates the back. Thinking outside the box. Polly Thompson would like, oh, sure. Remember? Okay, let me see. It is, I put the folder. See that yellow up there? That's the folder that contains all the information. So, Polly, write down Nanette's Quilts. Nanette's Quilts. She's from California, and she's still selling, I think it's, she's still selling this pattern, and it's the mandala, and it's the Christmas wreath version. So, because I just love it. It is absolutely beautiful. And next week, I'll have it over here to show you, unless it's on the frame. But I'll try to have it over here to show you. But that was all done with the Fabric Line Prose, Prose. Uh-oh, her account has been suspended. Oh, it's an old pattern, and maybe she's not keeping it up anymore. Polly, email me at Our Time to Quilt, and I'll see what we can do. But Our Time to Quilt at twc.com, and I'll see what I can do, sweetheart. So, okay. I just wanted to tell you a quick thing. I was doing some checks because I think we're all working towards having to wear masks. But the main problem I have is my allergies are tearing me up. And I don't know if you can see, but I look like it. And I'm spending time out at Becky's. So I asked Mark if he had any T-shirts, and he does. He hates wearing these, and they're V-neck, and he hates them. Because they were saying T-shirt material makes really good material for masks. And I know they would feel very comfortable. So I'll probably be making masks so I can go out and walk with Mark and not then have to pay later. I wanted to show you that the Quilt Show has Quilters Quarantine labels that you can use and print out on printable fabric. Now, let's say you don't have any printable fabric in stock. You can take white fabric and make sure it's been laundered so all the sizing is washed out. Iron it real good. Iron it to a piece of freezer paper, putting the back side of the label on the back side of the fabric that you're not going to do anything on against the shiny part of the freezer paper. Cut it to the size of a piece of notebook paper, something that fits in your printer. Run that through and print it out. Now, the problem is usually our ink printers do not have the type of ink that's going to stay there. But you can then take a permanent marker or fabric marker set and go over the writing. And that way you have the cute design and it's permanent. And then you can cut it out, peel off the freezer paper, and sew it on to your quilt. But it might be a lot of fun to mark this time with this label, or make up your own Corona quilt label. But I just saw this and thought it was really cute. They're doing something where any quilt you're making during this quarantine time, if you send it to hashtag Quilters Quarantine, you can post it up on their site and everybody can see your quilt. So anyway, yeah, only if you have an inkjet printer. So, and then, when you do anytime you do any permanent marking or coloring on a quilt, you press it to make it color fast if it's a marker or set of fabric markers that are made for fabric and to be color fast. All right, let me see. Let me see a second. Boy, I've shown you all kinds of stuff already. Man, I was quick today. You can tell when I'm nervous or excited because I come in and talk real fast. So, no freezer paper in your printer unless it's, oh, thank you. I don't know anything but an inkjet. I apologize. Thank you for catching that. Thank you. Starch the fabric good. Okay, because I just know that you want to make it as easy to use as possible. All right. I did not work on this at all. I apologize. But like I said, I was in the hammock yesterday after driving around. But I know, one thing I want to do? One thing I want to do is I want to do some additional tissue paper dyeing. That was so much fun last week. That was the most fun I had of all. Okay, so what I thought I would just do now, see, I know nothing about laser printers, so please follow your instructions. Better clarify that before I get myself in trouble. Thank you, Miss Diana. I'm lucky to have people here looking out for me. So I've got these inks. I opened them carefully so I can always put them back. All right, let's see. I have a Sunrise Gold. Oh, they're glued in place. How cool. And then here is a pink gold. And then I have a red. This is so much fun. I feel like a little kid. I used to love art class best of all. All right, I have plenty. In fact, I don't know if you can see right here, I put some paint brushes in this thing. And then I have a jar of paint brushes. Okay. I want to make sure what I'm doing here. I think what I'm going to do, hold on just a second. I'm going to make a brownish color to go on where her eyebrows should go. And, oh, let me get, hold on just a second. I wanted to get some waterproof paper to protect my surface here, because I'll sit and forget and work right on the thing itself, and that's not good. So what I'm going to do is I was trying to think of what to do for the eyebrows. And what I'm going to do is make some slightly brownish paint by mixing a little bit of blue. Let me move all this over here. I want to get to where you can see me because it's no fun when I'm off camera. All right, and then I'll put a little bit of this scarlet. Put about 2 drops. No, 3. Okay. Then I have this little spouted water because I like keeping it very light and watercolor-like. Okay, let me see if I can pull in. Well, I better not pull. If I pull in, I'll carefully bring this over and show you. I've got some of the red and some of the blue. And, yeah, it looks a little reddish brown. So let me see. Then I'll come and paint it. I wanted to paint the sun's eyebrows a color where they'll stand out but not look unusual. Now, I know the sun doesn't have eyebrows, so it seems a wee bit silly to begin with. Am I okay in the frame? Thank you, sweetie. So, what I'm going to try to get to is I want to get to the metallic paints today. And these, once again, let me tell you, they're Dynaflow by Jacquard. And I love these little exciter packs is what they're calling them. They're just to get you excited to try the paint so you don't have to invest in 2-ounce bottles of all the different colors. And now I'm going to take and I'm going to go over it with just a touch of yellow to lighten it just a touch. Let me get some water in that too. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I like the little bit of yellow on top of it. It was like, what color can I make her eyebrows that I just want it to look good. I don't want it to look weird. Now, let me see. I guess I'm going to make her eyes a reddish color. I mean, I would like her to have blue eyes, but she's a sun. I'm not sure that works with the sun. Okay. Now I will, well, let me try this again. I don't want them to look too brownish. Anyway, but just keep talking. Today, it's kind of, I've been promising you that I would do some of this painting. And I just wanted to show you some of this. I had thought about it. I got so excited about Akko's tatting that I thought something new that I would like to do with y'all is do different kinds of crafts that somehow maybe relate a little bit to quilting, but something new and exciting each week. And like the bobbin lace making, I've been promising y'all to show you my bobbin lace maker, and I got to pull some of this stuff out. So I will work on that. But anyway, okay, and I'm going to get ready and open up some of these metallics because I'm hoping that they'll be really awesome. All right. Let me see. First, this is the Sunset Gold. So how is everybody? Hi, Sherry. Jamie. It's so good to see everybody. Oh, this is going to be exciting, guys. This is going to be exciting. Now, I don't know whether to thin these out or not. To set color on fabric, let dry for 24 hours, then iron on the reverse side for 3 minutes at a temperature suited to the fabric. Okay. Simply let air dry and shake the metallics really good before you use them. That makes sense. I can see all the little mica flakes or whatever they use in it settling to the bottom. So I see that. Okay. Well, I think I will try her cheeks first. Maybe put a little metallic. Now, I don't know if it's too thick or what? These really are metallics. That is amazing. Amazing. Okay. And I'll hold this up to the camera so you can see. I hate when brushes get little bristles that slide part way out. These are very easy, very, very easy to work with. I'm really pleased. And by doing the stitching around the areas that you're going to paint by stitching the areas first. It helps keep the color in place. I really, really like this. I'll put a little bit on her chin and a little bit on her nose. I think I need it thinned out for that. Well, that doesn't look right. Looks like she has a brown nose. I should have thinned that out first. But remember what I told you. If you get some of this dye on and you're not happy with it, take a paper towel and there you go. Just wipe it off. And then when it dries, it'll look much better. Now, I'm going to take the red metallic. Let me see. But let me see. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the metallic, but trust me, it is really metallic. Really metallic. So I'm going to take some... Okay, I've got Halo Pink Gold. Ooh, this really needs to be shaken. See the bottom? This I'll do the red metallic for her eyes and the pink metallic for her lips. So I like using the regular dyes for the background and then do the metallics for highlights. All right. These are really dramatic paints, though. You will get a really cool effect with this. And remember, these have a very soft hand, so it's not going to be like painting some kind of thick paint onto it. Okay. Here is for her eyes. Now, I didn't let the first coat really dry good, but I think it'll still, oh, yeah. I think it still works. And let me put some on this side. This is awesome. Awesome. All right. And now I'm going to take the pink gold and put it on her mouth. These paints on Amazon were $13.68 or $13.98, something like that. And I've got quite a bit here to play with for quite a while. Now, I do see some of this running out. It is starting to seep a little bit. Let me tell you what I would do. What I would do with that, you can, if you want to put like a gesso or medium over this first, although I didn't want to change the feel of the fabric, what else I could have done is put a little bit of that gel glue, school glue, to act as a resist. And what I can do is wet this and come in and try to rub a little bit off, because see, it will come off. I don't want them to run, though. That's the whole reason I've taken the time to do all that stitching, is I wanted them to stay in bounds. But the problem is this: if this fabric is dry and this fabric is wet, natural wicking will bring it in. So I want to try something. Let me try one thing really quickly. I think the eyes ran only a little bit. I'm wondering if the surrounding fabric is already wet. Will it do less wicking in? I'm wondering. Okay. Yeah, when I was at my daughter's yesterday, I had to be so careful because I kept wanting to walk near her or hug her. And it's like, oh, I couldn't do that. So, I wanted to put a little bit of shadowing down here, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to. That gives me a little bit. Okay. I think, let's see. Oh, Diana now gets a better signal, huh? That is so neat. Aw. I'm going to paint my sun a little bit darker. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Hold on. Okay, so I painted the little center of the dots. I painted them with the magenta last week. What I can do now is let's do some of the metallic over it. Oh man, that is awesome. I really am enjoying these metallic paints. And you know, they seem to be a little thicker. Well, I didn't put as much water in them. That's another thing. But they're not running as badly. So maybe it's because I didn't thin them out too much. But it's going to be fun playing with these metallics because it'll give that extra dimension. Besides just color, you'll have that little shimmer. And I like the idea of, like, I've got to decide what color to make. Let me see. Yeah, I don't really want to use all these other colors because it is the sun. Well, this is probably getting a little bit boring, fellas. I'm sorry, ladies. But it's like, I need to get color laid down before I do the metallic. That's for sure. Aw, what are y'all talking about? Y'all are the sweetest things. But anyway, tell me what, it was so good to get out and drive around. We were very careful not to stop anywhere except to get that microwave. I got to tell you about this too. I was really impressed with Lowe's. I thought they did such a good job. They had plenty of people out to help. And I was very impressed. So, and it was so nice. We just called from the car. We stayed in the car. They loaded it. And Mark just had to make sure the back door of the car was open. So I was very, very happy, very impressed. Now, I think I like this kind of dye. I've got to work with it a little because I've got to figure out if I'm okay with it bleeding into the other fabrics. And that's where, like, I didn't plan it to go out here. But I think that since this is fabric and these are dyes, not paints, I have to learn to live with some of that. It's going to be a little tough for me because I like to control what's going to happen. And it doesn't look like I want to get to control it. But even if they run, I think it'll still be okay. Like, I'll come back to these little things. And, well, let me show you this real quick. Okay, let me get one of these little brushes. But I've got to manage my expectations. Yes, this is running. And I don't know much of what to do about that. Consider that in your designs. And, you know, if you need a sharp line, if you need an absolutely sharp line, you're going to have to get some of the gel glue. Whoops, this is sinking into the sunset. So let me get it back up here. We've got, Mark and I have to work on this. See how it's just, oh, I think it stopped. Okay. But this is where these little dots right here, let me see, what color do I want them to be? Maybe the pink. I'll take turns. But I bet you with my dyes, I'm going to have to be more careful. Okay. Oops, it was sinking into. Okay. All right, come on, camera. But I'll do every other one with the metallic, and then I'll go back. That was the metallic pink gold. Now I'll come in here with the red gold, the red metallic. The thing I like about the metallics, I can get a really sharp look. Let me try to show you up here. I can get, when I saw the woman do it on a YouTube thing, I thought, ooh, cool. It went on very definite. Like, it kept its shape and color really good. So like I could come in here to all these little stones and do every other one. And I just realized something. If I don't thin the metallic down, then it helps cover up where my sewing wasn't the best, because it's a solid enough color that my sewing doesn't have to be perfect. Yay. I like that. Okay, let me do a little bit more. Let me do a little bit more. One thing I'm going to have to do is trim my paint brushes so that I can make sure, but I'll really be able to make the pebbles stand out. So, and then let me come in here with this. I wanted a design that had plenty of small spaces on it so I could use the different colors to really make something pop. So I'm going to like this. I still like the idea of putting down a base of the regular dyes first and then coming back and doing the metallic. Like, let me see. I'm going to try some of this plain gold. Okay. Let me now come in, and I've got a little bit of, I mixed the regular gold with some of the yellow. And let me see if I come in and like I can tweak each of these little sections of the design with a different color metallic. And this is fun. I mean, I'm just playing, and this is just a scrap of fabric and some time quilting it. But I'm leaving I'm leaving the metallics a little more opaque, even though I did put it in the little cup of the yellow, which had been diluted. But see what I can kind of do different things with it. Like here, I'll try to do this inside one. And I can make the metallics look a little bit different in shade by using a little bit of the other dye to change it. Like it can be just a regular gold, or I can make it a slightly orangey gold. But I'll pick a different thing to paint in each one of these, and that'll be the accent. So when I was over at my daughter's, Charlotte showed us this table she had been painting. It was a Slytherins. Her and my grandson like Harry Potter. So she took this table and some paints and did the neatest paint job on it. It looked so cool. I don't think I managed to get a picture of that, unfortunately, but maybe she'll send me a picture. Okay. It's very easy to apply just with a regular paintbrush. So the metallics, I wouldn't use a foam brush. I want the little mica crystals or whatever that make it the metallics. I'm going to go here. I'm afraid if you use the foam brushes that maybe some of the mica things would get caught in the foam and not show up as much. This is fun. This is just like coloring. Isn't that cool? So let me come up here. I think I'll do every other one with this paint. And this is just yellow of the regular yellow dye with the regular gold. And it really flows on very smoothly. And you could do an artwork that looks like mosaics and then using the metallics to enhance the mosaic, the different colors. But I kind of like it. What do you think? I think I'm going to like it. So, but it's really, can you tell it's really coming out? I'm not sure about, I'm going to put a little bit of the metallic on the eyebrows, and I'm going to use the gold because the other color dye will come through. So, okay. I think it'll work. I think I'm going to like it. And it'll give me something just to kind of piddle with during this time. And I think I'm going to like it. So let me hold it up and show you how it's coming along. I want to get more color on the face. I don't want the face to look, I don't want the features to be so strong. So by I'm going to go in and put a darker yellow on the face. And I think I'm going to work, especially I don't want some of these colors to run into others. I think I'm going to work with putting the gel glue and try to use that as a resist. I think it'll work. The only thing is, I'll have to put it just like where the background is empty. So maybe that won't work as much. I don't know. But this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I want you to get an idea of good things, not so good things, fun things. Be careful of this. Don't do this. I wish I could get the metallics. It does have a metallic sheen. And I love that. So I think it's going to be fun. And piddle is the right word because we're just having fun. We're just doing whatever. So, all right, I think now I think I've covered everything I was going to cover. So, remember, I promised y'all to show you my Light City Lights quilt up close. Let me go get it. It's over here. Okay. All right. On the back, you will see how I strung the lights. Now, you could work with it somehow to try to hide the lights inside the backing. I don't know. But this was a panel that Hoffman came out with a couple of years ago. And I took and cut around the buildings and used a piece of grunge for the skyline, okay? All right. And remember I told you that I made this to be 3D? I don't know if you can see where the buildings puff out. I put extra batting behind the buildings. But look at all the thread painting that I did. In some places, I completely covered up the fabric. In some places, I didn't. But like, see all the thread painting? So now looks and feels like a tapestry. There was a couple hundred hours. You can see now, yeah, you can see how the buildings stand out. And I just decided which buildings were going to have the most shape and definition. And that's just with Trapunto. It's one of the things I love doing. Then I decided where I was going to put my lights. But some of the places, I did a lot of very heavy thread painting. And this quilt has some weight to it and some heft. This is not a snuggle quilt. But let me tell you what, when you go to show this and they think, oh, that's a neat quilt, and then you plug it in, you get some oohs and ahs, that's for sure. But see how some of the buildings, like this is another one. This one is another one that really sticks out. Let me see if I can show you. You can kind of tell. And since the buildings, it just reminded me of Art Deco, that's where I came up with the border that I designed for it. And when it comes to quilting, I didn't do too much fancy. I did some stars and loops because I really wanted to let the fabric and all the embellishments speak for itself. Here I did outline stitching just to kind of define it. But this took me a bunch of time. This was one of those quilts that I should have realized. I was meant to be an art quilter because I really changed this. And then let me show you on the back is where I ran the lights and then did a little tack stitch to tack them in place. I didn't know how to put it, I didn't know how to quilt it if I had the wires inside the fabric. I did not want to take a chance on hitting them with the needle and puncturing them or making a fire hazard. And even at this, I don't leave this plugged in unless I'm in the room enjoying it. But did I show you? Let me see. Whoops, I got to go down. Hold on. Did I show you? Do you need to see anything else you need to see? but I wanted to. When I do truck shows, this is a quilt that I like to pass around, although it's usually my finale for my truck show. Because when I plug it in, they usually go, ooh, that's different. I don't know what it is, but I like making my own mark and things, that's for sure. But this was such a pleasure. I really enjoyed this. I would never do it again, but I enjoyed it. Oh, thanks. Something gets in me and I just want to do something different. So, anyway, okie dokie. But it was a lot of fun. It's like, how come that quilt has an electric cord hanging from it? My plan is to one day do a Christmas tree quilt with lights on it so that if I ever don't feel like setting up a real Christmas tree anymore, I'll plug my quilt in. So anyway, there we go, because I kept forgetting to show it to you up close. So anything else, Akko? I'm so tickled with your tatting. I can't wait to try it. I had talked to a woman one time that says she does needle tatting. She does it on a needle. I don't know. Sounds like that'd be a little too precious for me. But I love what you've done, and you've already got a scissor fob out of it. That's fantastic. Oh, and I hope it was okay that I played your brass quartet. That was beautiful, hon. That was beautiful. You know what it reminded me? There was a group in England called the Blackguard or something. It was an all brass. They used to play the intro to a gardening show. And I would watch it. Well, I love gardening, but I'd watch it just to listen to the intro song. So that was really beautiful. Oh, yes, I will bring my pillow. My pillow's upstairs. I will bring it down for next Sunday and show you. I got to practice it because I haven't messed with it since my son got married. Oh, but Susan, way to go for getting her to start it, because that was just charming. And that was the poor man's lace making, because you remember lace when it first started was only for the very wealthy. And here's some things I'll tell you. Lace making was kind of a sad business in some areas because they made little children do it. And this was all done like in Denmark, and it was very damp and dark. And they had to work in damp, dark warehouse type buildings, but they liked children to do it because their hands were small and they could make finer lace. So, but lace was just for the wealthy back then. So if you could do tatting, you could do beautiful trims and stuff for pillowcases and towels and handkerchiefs. I love that. Good job, Susan. I love y'all inspiring each other to try things. And these I've got the woman for you too. I plan, soon as we get past this COVID crisis, I'm going to have her over. She is amazing. She's the one that was teaching me. And I got so busy with my son's wedding and then doing this that I haven't picked it up. But I've got an official pillow and bobbins, and it's an amazing, amazing art form. And watching her, I mean, oh my gosh. And it's funny. It's like knitting and crocheting. It's a way to knot thread to make it into something beautiful and useful. Because knitting is a way of tangling yarn. Crocheting is a way of tangling yarn to make it into something else. I mean, how cool is that man figured this out? Oh yeah, and don't expect any action like that from me. I'm very basic. So Oh, you're right. Yes. And the bobbin lace makers, oh, they are just as devoted, and they have retreats for bobbin lace. They have seminars, symposiums. Oh, let me tell you. But instead of making a big quilt, you make a tiny piece of lace. So it's amazing. Yeah, macrame is taking a thicker cording and knotting it up to make something useful. So I love that. So that I will bring my bobbin pillow down, my lace bobbin lace making pillow down. Oh, I'd love to see your great grandmother's work. That is wonderful. Are there any other questions? I have another panel of that city fabric that I was going to make a nice big tote bag from, and I've just got to do it. You know, I've noticed too that watching stuff like the hand arts is very relaxing. And so during this time when we might have a little extra time on our hands, it's a fun thing to do. So all things crafty are welcome here. We don't stand on ceremony. You know what? If you want to come join us and paint a picture, go for it. You know, whatever you want to do. I used to tell people when I had a guild, I would say, bring whatever handwork you want while we're doing the meeting and enjoy, because I love when I went to Becky's yesterday, I took my crocheting and she had her knitting and we just sat and talked. I mean, doesn't get better than that. Does not get better than that. So, yeah, get it out and enjoy that. I mean, we'd love to see it. Hardanger. Now, hardanger is something you're not going to get me to try. I had a friend who did it, and it was beautiful, but she said it was very intensive. So I'm going to enjoy Susan doing it. She'll be my hardanger. Hardanger, and in case you don't know, hardanger is a process where you take a fabric, and it has to be a certain weave to really do it right, but it's a matter of pulling the weave apart in it and or building up stitches around and kind of cutting it out so you make holes in it. But it all has to be done very carefully so it doesn't unravel. And it's very labor intensive. It's absolutely beautiful. And in a way, it's a form almost of lace making in reverse. Instead of, you take away threads to leave a design. So did I describe that okay? Akko thinks it's fun. Oh, Akko and Susan, y'all were separated at birth. I tell you, I love hand quilting and hand piecing, but you're not going to get me to do hardanger. Oh, I love it. Hi, Marcia. Marcia, you know what, Marcia, I might not have sent you your undersea things yet. I think there was one more person that I was supposed to send them to, and I hope other people got their little packages this week. So, well, I think I'm going to have to get ready to go. I've been a little disjointed today, and I apologize. I was just off. I woke up all sleepy, even though I had plenty of rest. But yesterday was so much fun. I think I just wanted to stay and play and not have to come home and do real life stuff. So, but please keep taking good care of yourself. Remember this. I was thinking about this. Take good care of your teeth. Take good care of yourself, because you don't want to go to a hospital. You don't want to go to a doctor right now. So eat well, get some sunshine in moderation, get some exercise, take really good care of yourself. If you have diabetes like I do, manage your blood sugar accurately, because right now we have to stay healthy and home, and then we'll get through this. And turn off the news, because especially these afternoon news, so-called news coverage, it's not. You're being played. So turn it off and enjoy reading a good book, enjoy quilting, enjoy life with those that you love the most. Do online chatting. Thank goodness this happened when we've got these ways of communicating with the ones we love. I am tired. I don't know why I'm so tired, but I guess it means I need to take it easy, huh? I love you all very much. Please take good care of yourself. We'll get through this. And when we do, watch out. We're going to be girls going wild. But take good care of yourself. And Tuesday, we're going to do Quilters Bingo. So I will make sure to have a card here. I can send you out email cards. I'll have a card put on our Groups.io site so that you can have your bingo card filled out and ready to go for us to play Quilters Bingo. But you're going to have to give yourself your own prizes because I can't figure out how to squeeze them in through the internet. So, but we'll have a good time, okay? All right, guys. Y'all are the best. Take good care of yourself and have a great week and read a good book. I think that's what I might spend the rest of the afternoon. I'll get back in that hammock. I am loving that hammock. So take good care. Diane, y'all are doing some great work. Diana, y'all are doing great work at that house. Thank you, Diane57, for working so hard for us. And I'll see you all Tuesday. I'll be more awake then, I promise. Take care. Bye, guys. Mwah. Y'all are the very best. The very best. Bye-bye. Take good care.